How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, do me a huge favor, go down and subscribe. Today I want to talk about the Miata. We did a year update a little while ago, but in today's video I want to talk a little bit more on actually like driving it, why I keep it around, why I wanted to buy the Miata in the first place, overall kind of a little bit more on the impressions of the car. And for people who are considering buying it, you guys can go check out some of my other videos I made on it. This is kind of more like a why I keep this car around, why I really love the car, and why it's so much fun and such a different experience from every other car that I own. Because I own a Mustang, I own another convertible right there, got a Bronco behind that bike there. So I have a couple of different vehicles, but this is completely different than anything else. Now this car needs a lot of work, and that's no secret. It's a project. I bought it as a project, and it's not as bad as it seems, but it's gonna take some time to get it fixed up and where I want it to be, because I'm modifying it and maintaining it at the same time. But one of the reasons I love this car so much is because of how raw it is. There's literally nothing in this car like all the modern day technologies that you may want to consider. Another reason as to why I love this car has to deal with the simplicity. I mean, just looking under here, you can pretty much figure out everything that you need to figure out. Even if you're not super mechanically inclined, there's tons of videos out there teaching you how to do basically anything you want in this car. There's not a whole lot of complicated things going on. And that is what I love, and that's why I wanted to buy it. That's why I keep it around, because I know if there's a car that I'm not going to be 100% afraid of, it's going to be this car. Now, the cars I have are very intimidating. BMW, a modern Mustang, a new Bronco. Those cars are not only expensive, parts are expensive, but also they have tons more things that can go wrong. They have tons of things that if you mess with, you might not be able to put them back together. But with the Miata, it's a perfect learning experience because everything in the motor-wise is right here. The only thing I'm really struggling with right now is to get underneath it. That has to do with tools, not really mechanical knowledge or anything like that. If you want to replace the spark plugs, right here, spark plug wires, right there. You want to replace any gasket, you want to replace literally anything, it's pretty much right there and accessible to you. And if you don't really know what you're doing, you can still pretty much get anything you want done. Not only that, but it's just a fun car. It's small, it's throwable, it's light, it doesn't have a lot of horsepower, which makes you a better driver. There's so many upsides to this car. The reason why I bought it was simply because I wanted to learn how to drive better and maintain a car myself. The reason why I continue to keep it around and probably will never sell this car or will always own a Miata of some kind is because the way it drives and the way it feels is just quite literally like nothing I really ever driven so far. A lot of the cars I drive don't have that tin can feel that the Miata has, and that might be seen as a negative for some of you, but it literally just feels like a tin can. I say that all the time, and that's the reason I love it and continue to drive it and want to drive it. Another thing I love about these cars is the price point they're in. There's not too much you can get for less than $8,000 nowadays. You can get a really like a rough car for the most part. Enthusiast cars, they're far in between. Even the Miata was a $2,000 car at one point. Everything has gone significantly up in value, and there really isn't too many good options. The second you get cheaper than the Miata, you're getting into some very big projects. Anything I really want to do is easily accessed. I'm not scared to change things up, make things non-original. I'm not scared to do any of these things because they're not collector cars. They're not things that are insanely special, but when you see a clean Miata, you can always respect it because they are getting harder and harder to find clean examples of. And I think in the future, as long as you have a clean example of a car, it will hold some good value. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go skyrocketing to the moon. I don't think they will, because there's tons of them out there. But they will hold value. You will always be able to get your money out of a good Miata. When cars get rarer and rarer, harder to find good examples of and harder to find an example period of, that's when things start to go up in price. That's kind of what happened to the Miata, and I think as far as inflation of the NA, the first Miata like I have goes, I think they're pretty much near their top, their maximum, not including inflation. These cars are so fun. I have a couple of mods done to it that just makes the car even more lively. And it's just basic, it's simple. There's no extra buttons, there's no extra technology. You don't have to turn traction control off. because there isn't any. You don't have to turn any of these things off because it doesn't have any technology features to it. And it's just a ripper. This thing is so fun. It's a raw experience that not too many cars, no cars nowadays can offer, and not too many cars underneath a $10,000 price point can really offer anymore. Cars are an expensive hobby. There's no doubt about that. And whenever you can find something that's not going to cost you a fortune to own, it's always a fun time. The Miata is one of the very few cars that I found that's easy to maintain. Its parts are relatively inexpensive, and they're not really too hard to get into. I love my Miata. I think we might have to buy another one soon. I'm all sweaty, so I'm gonna let you guys go there. That's all I have for this video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.